You ever think you've healed from something, only to realize you were just holding your breath the whole time? Like, you thought you moved on, you thought you buried the past, but really, you just threw a blanket over it and hoped it wouldn't start to smell. That's exactly how I felt the moment I found out my childhood best friend, my ride or die since second grade, is marrying my ex-husband. And no, I didn't hear it from her. Not even a phone call. I found out, on Instagram. Swear to God. I'm sitting there one night, half watching reruns of some trash reality show, scrolling through my feed, when I see it. A photo. Tasha's hand, with a ring that looks like it came from a pawn shop, resting on Eric's chest. His stupid, smug face grinning into the camera. And the caption? He was worth the wait. I stared at that photo for a full minute, like maybe if I blinked hard enough, it would morph into something else. But nope. It was real. Tasha, my childhood best friend, is engaged to Eric, my ex-husband. By the way, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? I love seeing where all of you are tuning in from. Seriously, tell me in the comments, because betrayal like this? It deserves to be shared across time zones. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. Total emotional whiplash. Let me rewind, because you need the full picture to understand how deep this knife really went. Tasha and I met when we were 7. She let me borrow her glitter gel pen, and from that moment on, we were a package deal. We shared secrets, first crushes, sleepovers with matching pajamas. She knew everything about me, my dreams, my fears, my first period disaster. She was at my house more than her own. My mom used to call her her second daughter. When her parents divorced, she cried in my lap for hours. When my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, she brought me a pink bracelet and said we'd fight it together. We were that kind of close. A sisterhood. We even made a pact in 8th grade, no man will ever come between us. We cut our fingers and made it blood official. Disgusting, I know. But we meant it. Then college came. We went to different schools but kept in touch. During sophomore year, I met Eric. And wow, did he feel like something out of a damn Nicholas Sparks novel. He was older, a little mysterious, read poetry but wasn't pretentious about it. We had instant chemistry. It was butterflies and late-night phone calls and picnics in the park. When I introduced him to Tasha, she gave me this look. I can still see it, just a flicker, a pause too long, like she was studying him. I brushed it off. Because why wouldn't she be happy for me? I mean, she helped me shop for our first apartment. She picked out my wedding shoes. She cried when I walked down the aisle and gave a toast at the reception that made the whole room laugh and cry at the same time. I thought I had it all. Best friend by my side. Husband who adored me. Career on the rise. I felt safe. But the thing about feeling safe is, sometimes it makes you stop looking for red flags. Eric and I were married for 5 years. The first 2? Magic. Movie montage worthy. But things started to shift after that. It was subtle at first. He started coming home late. We stopped laughing as much. He said I was always on edge. I said he was emotionally constipated. We fought. Then made up. Then fought again. We tried therapy. It helped for a while, but honestly, I think we both just gave up at the same time. Quietly. By the time we divorced, it was like we were roommates with a joint checking account. Still, the breakup hurt. It wasn't dramatic, but it was devastating in its own quiet way. I thought I'd grieve and then rebuild. And the whole time? Tasha was there. Bringing me wine, tissues, binge-watching rom-coms with me, trashing him in the best friend way that only best friends can. She said things like, he didn't deserve you, and you were always too good for him. She even helped me box up his stuff. Looking back now? I wonder if she took a few souvenirs for herself. Because 2 months ago, I got a DM from someone I didn't know, Just a random girl I'd met at a friend's birthday party once. The message said, "Hey, sorry if this is out of line, but I thought you should know, Tasha and your ex were seeing each other before your divorce." I overheard something I probably shouldn't have. I felt like the air got sucked out of the room. I just stared at it, heart pounding, trying to remember if I'd missed any signs. And oh boy, once I started digging, the signs were everywhere. There was the girls' night she canceled last minute claiming she had a migraine, but Eric also had an emergency work meeting that same night. The weekend I went to my cousin's baby shower out of town. Both of them were suspiciously MIA. I went back through old texts. Her wording. His excuses. And it clicked. I called her. The second she answered, I knew she knew. I didn't even say hi. I just said, "How long has it been going on?" She tried to play dumb at first. Said, "What do you mean?" So I asked again. "How long, Tasha? Before or after the divorce?" There was a pause, and then she said, "We didn't plan for this to happen." Which is basically code for yes, it happened, but I don't want to take accountability for it. I asked again. "Did you sleep with him while we were still married?" And then came the silence. Long enough for me to hear my own heartbeat in my ears. Finally she said, "Once. But you two were already falling apart." That right there? That broke something in me. I hung up. Didn't scream. Didn't cry. Just sat there on my bedroom floor, feeling like someone had scooped the inside out of me. And then, this is where it gets even more ridiculous, I get a wedding invitation in the mail 3 weeks later. Tasha and Eric, together with their families, blah blah blah, joyfully request the honor of your presence. I laughed so hard I nearly choked. Inside was a handwritten note from Tasha. "I know this might be awkward, but you've known me the longest and I couldn't imagine this day without you." Girl, what? You couldn't imagine your wedding without me, the woman whose husband you slept with? Make it make sense. I didn't respond. I didn't go. I thought about it. Thought about wearing something jaw-dropping and walking in like a storm. But I didn't. Because something shifted in me. I looked around at my life and realized I was free. I didn't have to hold my breath anymore. They could have each other. They deserved each other. Two people who didn't know how to love without hurting someone else. Meanwhile, I started therapy. Started journaling. Took up pottery, of all things. I made a bowl so lopsided it looked like it had been in a bar fight, but I was proud of it. Because I made it. For me. And guess what? I'm dating again. Someone kind. Someone who actually listens. But more importantly, I like myself again. So yeah. My childhood best friend is marrying my ex-husband. And it sucks. But it's not the end of me. It was just the beginning of a version of me that doesn't accept crumbs when I deserve a feast. If you were me, what would you have done? Gone to the wedding? Burned the invitation? Told them both off? I'd really love to know. Because some betrayals hit so deep, they turn into life lessons. And this one? This one taught me that peace is the best revenge.